Hi everybody, Jimmy here. I just wanted to do a quick video. This isn't scripted or worked or anything like that. I just wanted to talk to you about a new series that I'm working on. It's gonna be, I don't know what it's gonna be called yet, but it's gonna be about my personal experience with a whole bunch of retro game systems. And to start with, we're gonna start with my absolute all-time favorite series of consoles, the Sega Megadrive, or the Genesis, if you're in the United States. This here is not my original Genesis. I've had, I think, about four during my lifetime. Three of them have been this model, the Sega Genesis 2. The other one was an original full-sized Megadrive. This isn't the original one that I got for Christmas. This one is one of either two, and I'm not sure which one. It was either one that my friend gave to me when they moved home and didn't want it anymore, or it's one that a friend of mine found on the side of the road and I picked up when I was shooting a short film with them. It still works. It still goes. It still plays. It does occasionally need cleaning, but all of these retro consoles do. It's a wonderful console. If you've never played a Sega Mega Drive, it's a wonderful interaction into gaming. And I'd like to just talk about a couple of my memories that I have with the Sega Genesis. The big one is that when I was a kid, this is back in... I got my original Sega Genesis in 1994 or 1993 for Christmas that year. And it came with Mortal Kombat and Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, Sonic 2, and Columns, I think, were the games that came with it. So it was a really fantastic box that I got for Christmas. It was fantastic. It was one of my, probably up there as one of my highest ranked Christmas presents of all time. When I played the games, like when we got it set up, the first thing I did was Mortal Kombat, because I had a bad time playing Mortal Kombat when I was a kid at the arcade. Sub-Zero was the first computer opponent that came up, and I was destroyed. Then I read the lore of Mortal Kombat, something which I love at the moment. The lore of Mortal Kombat has always been one of my favorites. Found out Scorpion and Sub-Zero were rivals, enemies, blood feuding, and using Scorpion, I destroyed Sub-Zero. It was very satisfying. But the important thing is that when I was a kid, my house was the party house. And what I mean by that is that my parents were cool people. And I don't mean like... they were cool. They were very cool. They were like sort of cool before cool was a thing. You know, they threw parties. That was the big thing. They threw parties. They had piano. They liked entertaining. But here's the cool thing, right? In my house as a child, we had a swimming pool. We had what was essentially a roller skating rink. There was a problem that ended up costing us a lot of money, where we had to pull up the carpet in the house so that we could, which exposed the concrete floor, which was wonderful because then we had a roller skating rink in our house. And we had a pinball machine and the Sega Genesis. Now here's the cool thing, right? One of my favorite memories is that a group of friends would come to my house regularly, like every weekend. I remember it being, but there was probably a couple in between, actually, where we swapped at each other's houses. The point is that my house was a hub for entertainment, and we had massive Mortal Kombat tournaments, and it's one of my happiest childhood memories. The other, like learning the secret codes, like A B A C A B B, or down up left left A right down to get into the secret menu. Mortal Kombat was such a fundamental part of my history as a gamer and as a child. I've never really gotten over it. So I just wanted to sort of touch base on that. This is one of my favorite consoles of all time. They're cheap. There's lots of ways to play the games that were on there. Lots have been re-released on thousands of little consoles and on the Megadrive collection and a whole bunch of things. If you want to play any of the games that were readily available, there's thousands of ways to do that. But for me, this piece of hardware is special. It's very special, and I love it a lot, and I'm just super glad that I was able to experience it, because the Genesis, everyone forgets this. Genesis lost the console war. Sega were beaten out eventually by pretty much everyone after the Genesis happened. But before while the Genesis was happening, Sega were punching above their weight for a long time. Games that were coming to the much more powerful Super Nintendo were also being ported to the Sega Mega Drive, and it wasn't terrible. It was actually really, really good what they could do with the Sega Mega Drive and what the resources they could get out of this little box. And it lasted for a long time. It was still going in '96, the same year that the Nintendo 64 came out. There was still Sega Genesis games being produced. Well, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to touch base on how important that particular console was to my childhood. There's a good chance I'm going to keep doing these. I would like to, because I've got a lot of retro consoles and a lot of history with most of them. So if you are interested in this sort of thing, please like, subscribe, follow me on social media, and it was really nice talking to you. Play better games. Bye.